Hello? Is this thing on? Hello? 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 Well, hi. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome back to the Moonlight Hours podcast. Oh, wow. What's up? What's up? It is I, your humble yet strikingly handsome host, Moses Espiritu Santo. What is Guan, home Schlitz? What is up? It has been a year. The last podcast I posted was March 15th, 2022. And yeah, it was pretty much me saying I was going to be taking a break for a while. And literally, let me quickly check real quick. Sorry if you hear clicking, I'm just at my computer. Let me check real quick. So I left then. Literally less than a week later, my life fell into pieces. Well, I want to say that. So I left the podcast, and I might as well. I'm just gonna go through. Yeah, this is I didn't plan for this. I kind of just like, this is very spur of the moment. I made the decision last year to temporarily do like a hiatus for the podcast, because I was being overworked at my job, and I was overwhelmed, and I just could not see myself being able to keep up the podcast and maintain sanity from work. So I decided to take a step back. And the reason for that, I don't know what I talked about in that podcast. It's been a year. But I was planning on making a big life move with that job. So at that time, I was working full-time, 40 hours a week in this call center. And I'd been doing that for a year and a half. And I was very, very, very much burnt out. But I wanted to maintain the job because it was an incredible source of income, even though I hated my life every second of working at that job. As I've talked about several times. I was planning on switching to part-time. Maybe I don't know how many hours, but I was just planning on switching to part-time so I could focus more on other things, like this podcast, like streaming. And that was the plan. I was going to take a break from podcasts, and I was literally in the process of getting everything set up to request to be moved to part-time. But then, less than a week later, the 21st, my life just went to crap. I was pulled into a meeting and told that due to system issues and call issues I was having, through no fault of my own, but they blamed it on me. Yeah, they blamed it on me. And like the Wi-Fi in my house, even though that wasn't the case at all. I was having issues where my calls weren't recording fully, and I was being disconnected from their VPN that gave me the opportunity to access the system. So like calls were dropping and stuff, and that's completely understandable. But they said that I either had to move permanently in office because of these system issues, because instead of them troubleshooting the laptop that they gave me for work, their laptop, they decided to just blame the system issues on my Wi-Fi and had to put me in office permanently or quit. Now, this was... Sorry if you heard that in the background. That was just front door. This was just I was gutted because I didn't expect anything like that to happen. And like I said, this was a laptop, a work laptop, a laptop that they gave me. They gave me the laptop. And I was having system issues. So maybe, I don't know, try giving me a new laptop and maybe that'll fix stuff. No, they just blamed it on my Wi-Fi and my internet. Even though when I went in office, it was still giving me issues. So yeah, they said that. And going into office was not something that I could do because at that time there was COVID spike in Massachusetts, and I have severe asthma and I don't have a great immune system. So like it wasn't fully safe for me to go in office. Now, they gave me this thing, and I told them all that I can't go in office, and I don't drive. So I'd have to rely on other people to take me or like spend money, and they weren't going to pay for me to like Uber and stuff. So like I told them I'm going to have to take the day off tomorrow. And that day that they said it, I called out for the rest of the day because I was feeling sick. I was just gross because I was like, what just happened? I took the next day off to kind of weigh out my options, and then that Wednesday when I was back in office, like it was so annoying too because it was my direct supervisor and her supervisor. My direct supervisor in that initial meeting was just quiet the entire time, not saying anything, not sticking up for me or anything, which kind of sucked, given that she kind of just did a complete 180 on our relationship and just started treating me like a robot, because I thought we had a pretty good relationship and we're pretty cool, but it doesn't matter. I was texting her the day that I took off, and I said, can we have a meeting today, like the day that I had off? And she said, no, we can't. You have to be working and in office you have to be working to have meetings. You cannot do it on your days off, which is honestly kind of dumb because that isn't the case, but oh well. So I pretty much was forced to go in office that next day. I'm pretty sure I was even late. And I told him, like, I asked him if there was any other options that we can do that won't affect calls, and they just didn't take anything into consideration, not even for a second. They took nothing. They gave me the robot voice crap of like, no, at this time you have to do this. Okay, I'm sorry for the inconvenience. I understand, like that whole crap. Like, one, it's freaking, I don't know. Regardless, bottom line, I decided to quit. I put in my week notice because I told them, as per our conversation, this day, and it ended up being 2 weeks, and left. And I have been jobless for a year, over a year. And it has been ridiculously difficult to find a job for some reason. Like with my, and I've been applying for everything. So at first I was trying to apply for anything but customer service, but I was having no luck. So then I started applying for customer service, and I haven't been able to find anything for that either. Like I've applied for probably over 200 positions since last year, and it's either they don't respond. They don't. They deny the application. They like say no, or they accept it but lie about the pay. And I'm like, okay. So I've been struggling with that, and it's been stressful. I was on unemployment for the end of last year into the bit of this year, which was very good. But it couldn't. It honestly, it was such a bad idea for me to actually go for unemployment at that time because I spent all my money around Christmas and it was frustrating. But that's besides the point. But yeah, that's where I've kind of been, like career wise, I guess, but like personally wise. I've been, I don't know how I've been, because I'm, once again, like I found myself at a standstill in my life, wanting a change, but attempting to strike a change, but things aren't going my way. It is the same thing that happened before. I've talked about it on the podcast. And I'm just confused. That's besides the point. If I'm being honest, this past year has been, besides like not having a job and stressing over that, and wanting a job and wanting a lot of stuff, it hasn't been all that bad. If you know me, if you're listening to this, you do. Most of my life, I have been a ridiculous extrovert. Sorry. To the point where I was just everywhere, and I never gave myself the chance to be introverted. And I did that this past year. I've done that the past few years. So when I was working, it was kind of like introverted, but not my choice, because it was just, I was working these 40-hour weeks, just normal full-time schedule. But the job was just so draining and like life draining that I became an introvert unwillingly. And then this past year, I kind of willingly became one. And it was nice. I found peace in being alone. And I found the joys of being alone. Like, there's something I've always been very independent in my life. And I've always like I like doing things alone, like if that's work or wanting to live alone or doing things myself and not asking other people for help. Like, I've always loved doing that because I don't have to worry about relying on other people and relying on their opinions and feelings when I'm doing something. And it sounds kind of messed up to say it, but it's true. So this past year, I spent most of my time alone because like my mom has work, my little brother has work, and I've just been at home. I cook all my own meals. I do all my own stuff. I'm essentially living by myself at my mom's house. This is pretty much what it is. I take care of myself entirely. And I've been doing that forever, but it kind of happened a lot more this year. And I took the time. I've been like honing in on my cooking skills, cooking a lot more stuff, trying out a lot more recipes. And I've kind of, all my like creative inspiration and motivation has gone into that. And I'll have like little spouts of different things happen. But that's pretty much been it. Music has also been on the no side. I just like, I don't know how to, I wish I still enjoyed playing music. And it's not that I don't. I enjoy, whenever I pick up the guitar, like if I'm like randomly one day I'll pick it up, I enjoy playing it for a little bit. But I'm just like, I don't have the drive to learn anything new or write anything or do anything that I just don't have any motivation to do that right now. So like my guitar just sits there next to my bed stalking me all day, just staring at me like I'm collecting dust and you know it. And it's your fault. But yeah, and like I just like randomly like, oh, like I've randomly wanted to start writing poetry again. That's all my creative juices went into that. I like started cleaning my room that has been a mess for 2 3 years, and I got a good of the ways away, and I'm close to being able to actually do what I don't even know what it's called. The word is gone from my mind. Reorganize my room that I've been wanting to do for the past 2 years. I'll actually be able to do that soon. And right now, all my creative energy is going into D&D. I'm making a lot of plans. So I started a campaign with my friends at the end of last year ish, and we stopped just because I guess it wasn't a good time. And I've decided I kind of just like started it. I didn't start it back up recently, but I'm like redoing it. So it's kind of like a reboot of it. I'm switching up a lot of the rules. I'm doing a lot more stuff, organizing more, and I'm having a lot of fun playing that out. It's really exciting. But yeah, I kind of just wanted to record today. I don't know what drew me to it. Well, I do know what drew me. This week has kind of sucked. Not in it was a bad week kind of thing. It was just like, and it's been very gloomy around here. It's been raining all week. The sun comes out for like an hour at the end of the day, but then it sets because it's nighttime, and then it starts raining overnight, and then wake up and it's cloudy again. It's been like that all week here, and it's just been awful because it's also May, and it is currently 49 degrees outside. Don't get me wrong, I love the cold. If you know me, I love the cold. But I hate this. Like, it's May. I want there to be actual weather happening outside. Nothing's happening. So yeah, that which is annoying. But yeah, I've just kind of been vibing, I guess. That's like the best way I could put it. I'm trying to find a job so I can have income again. Ideally a part-time job that I want to say like that won't suck the life out of me, but at this point I'm fine with getting a job that'll suck the life out of me because at least I'll have an income. I just want a part-time job so I can have money coming in while working, and be able to pursue other stuff more that I'll have an income to do so. And like I said, I've been applying for everything. You want to know, like, I feel like I'm like blacklisted from getting a job in life. Like, I applied for a Burger King as a joke, because that's the one thing I'll never apply for fast food. I applied for a Burger King up the street from my house as a joke. I hate Burger King. They denied my application for a Burger King. What? so, so I'm just sitting here, like, what? I might as well just die. Like, honestly, I can't do anything with my life anymore. So yeah, I'm just sitting here, and I kind of just decided, like, hey, why not just start the podcast again? I've been wanting to for a while, but I just don't know what I wanted to do with it. So I kind of just made the decision that. So the first time around that I did the podcast, back when it was Teddy Bear times, I had it sort of topic based, but it then morphed into like a music thing, which was annoying, and then I stopped. And then last time it was topic based as well, but more like free roam topic based kind of crap. And that's what that was. So I'm kind of what I want to do now. I don't want to do topics. I don't want to have a structure to this. I very much just am coming here to have a place where I can speak and just word vomit, really, and just talk about how I'm feeling, just so I can have some sort of space to speak. So yeah, that's what this is gonna be. I guess. I've also been thinking about stuff recently. Like, I have been thinking about loneliness. Just to do an awful segue, just a left turn from like what this is gonna be about to loneliness. No, I've been thinking about loneliness because for a while in my life, before I like grew up and gained my own like in a sense where I didn't have other people thinking for me subconsciously, it was, yeah, whatever. I never understood the concept of loneliness because I know I felt lonely a lot, but was kind of in denial because I always was around people. But now that I'm 22 years old, I am a guy who is lonely, who spends his time alone. I found so much enjoyment from it. Like, I spent my entire life being extroverted, and I'm now living an introverted life, and I love it. Don't get me wrong. I feel like when the time comes for me to be extroverted again, I'll very much be that. But for now, I'm enjoying my life as an introvert. I enjoy doing my own stuff, not going out, not caring about going out, enjoying my solitude, and I've become sort of, I've accepted the loneliness because I felt lonely my entire life in a romantic sense and in a friendship sense, because I was always jealous of my older brother growing up because most of his friends that he grew up with were through the church. And they were all in our region, even when our regions, like, because in our church, for those who don't know, there's different regions of the Boston Church of Christ, which is also, by the way, I'm going to talk about it one day, but it is a massive, it is in disarray, drama, baby, drama with this church. And it is spicy tea, sugar, honey, iced tea. But at one point there was a region called the North region of this church that split into Northwest and Northeast. I was in the Northwest. All of my friends were in the Northeast. So they were growing up together, being really close friends at that time, and I was alone. So I sought out friends in other regions, and I had like a friend in each region, and we formed this close-knit friend group that I love. And then after a while, the friend group broke, and then everybody who left the church came back together, and we're still that's our friend group now. But we call ourselves the Deserters. But no, I always felt alone because all my friends were in different places, and I couldn't see them as frequently as I wanted to. So I was very much lonely, and it didn't help that I moved halfway through high school. So I've always felt the loneliness, but I always denied it actually being a thing. I didn't want it to be true because I only viewed loneliness as I didn't view loneliness as anything but being around people. Like, there's so many different forms of loneliness, and I've accepted the loneliness, and I thrive in this loneliness. I feel as though, even though like my life is going nowhere right now, I don't have a job, at least I'm not depressed. I hated my life working at that old job. I hated it. Excuse me. I dreaded dreaded clocking in for work, and I worked from home. Don't get me wrong, I loved working from home. I'm trying to work from home again because I enjoy it, being able to be in my own space, in my own air, not having to worry about other people around me, and just being by myself and independent in my life. I want another remote job because I love it. But that job I hate. I dreaded waking up in the morning and going to my computer to clock in. Not because I hated working from home, but I hated the job. So I just hated my life at the time. And since I left, it's been stressful, yeah, not having a job and wanting to find a job, but like I'm not depressed. I don't know if I'm happy. I am. I would say maybe I'm happy, but I'm more content than happy, because there's other things that I want to do to be actually happy. I'm so sorry. I just hit my mic. So sorry if you heard something like a dunk. But I'm not depressed. Like, I'm here. I'm living. I'm sleeping. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Thinking back, and I would like look back at old pictures that I took back when I was working there, and like Snapchats I would take. I looked like death. Like the dark circles around my eyes. I remember all the times that people would ask me if I was wearing makeup because of how dark the circles around my eyes were. It was because I was barely getting any sleep. I wasn't sleeping. It was stressing me out. I'm actually sleeping now. And it feels great. It feels great. I love it. But I'm still trying to get a job. I'm trying to better myself. I'm trying to make a name for myself in my life. I'm trying to find. I can't even say I'm trying to find love, because I'm putting that whole part of my life that I desire. I'm putting that on pause until I get my life together, which I hope is soon. But I'm just, I'm happy that I'm not in that mindset anymore. My mental health isn't the best, but it is better than it was. I can say that for damn sure. It is better than it was. Which is nice. And I've just been living life. And I love it. I love being an introvert right now. I know when the time comes, I'll go straight back into being an extrovert, but for now I'm enjoying the loneliness, enjoying being alone, and I'm glad. I'm glad that I am alive. I'm glad that I still have people who care about me and that I care about, and I'm glad that I have this. I also still stream. If anybody's wondering, stream almost every day. It's usually at nighttime, like 7:30, 8:30, around that. I also occasionally do late night streams. So if you ever want to come by and listen to some music, because I'll probably like do DJ streams, or I'll have a cool wallpaper that moves to the music or something like that. Or I'll just be fooling around with my playlists, so you can maybe find new songs, because I have a playlist that literally, let me pull up the playlist. It's also in my bio, in my Linktree Instagram bio. It is the equivalent to my likes, but in playlist form, and it is 80 hours and 10 minutes long, with 1,321 songs. Like, brother, if you want some music, it's right there. And I got different playlists. That's another thing. Like, I love making playlists. So I have a bunch of different playlists on my profile with different vibes and moments and crazy stuff. So go there too if you want to find some new music. I'm just saying. Ooh, someone's grilling. I smell it. I got my windows open. I smell it. But yeah, dude. I'm back, I guess. As back as I am. I don't know if I'm gonna have a set schedule for this podcast, but I will be doing it. I am here. I kind of just come in to start talking and just talk about stuff that I was thinking about. And I'm gonna do this. So back in the old playlist, back in the old podcast, like the first one, I had this thing where I would do song of the day, where I would play a song at the end of the podcast, a random song. I'm not doing that this time around. I'm just gonna like tell you song, like whatever song is frequently being played in my life at that time. And this week, or this right now, is actually a twofer. Two new songs that have come out recently. All Things End by Hozier and Always by Daniel Caesar have been two songs that have pretty much been on repeat in my life recently. And they're great songs. And the messages behind both of them kill me. And I love it so much. Also, besides, yeah, those songs. Those are the songs. Always by Daniel Caesar and All Things End by Hozier. That. I'm so sorry. Once again, I hit the mic stand. I'm very sorry if you heard the thud. But yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm back. Sorry I've been gone for so long. Just have to get my mind right to come back here. Yeah. Advice. I'll do this too. I'll start doing like advice for the week. Don't be afraid to cry. That's another thing in my life that I've accepted, is crying. Like growing up, I guess I'm not going to end it yet. Growing up, I would cry all the time because I was just a very emotional boy. I cried whenever I was sad or got hurt, any of this. But then after a while, I started getting made fun of for it and getting like, So I just stopped. I kind of like forced myself to not cry whenever I felt like crying. And then like it started to happen. I didn't cry even when I was sad or even when I was feeling something or anything like that. I didn't cry. And then more recently, actually, the past few years, I started letting myself cry again. And I cry all the time. I cry all the time. It is not bad to cry. It is not. It is. Okay. I forget where I got this from, but I got this from, I forget if it was another podcast that I was watching or a video or something or a show or movie, but crying is the orgasm for the soul. I remember hearing that and I was like, dude, you're right. You're 100%. Crying is the orgasm for the soul. Which it is. You need to cry to release all of that emotion. You can't build up this emotion in you, or it doesn't feel good. So just cry and release it, and you'll feel great after. Like I let myself cry all the time. I just let the tears flow. Dude, I cried watching anime, dude. But honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like a lot of people did. If you watched the end of the most recent season of My Hero Academia, those last few episodes, bro, had me freaking. I was sobbing. I was sobbing, dude. That was, my heart was heart wrenching, bro. Jesus Christ, it was. Oh my gosh. Sorry. But yeah, cry. Let yourself cry. It is a good feeling to do so. And find people who you can cry with, who won't judge you for crying, and who you won't judge for crying. Cry with people. Be together. That helps you bind in life, or like helps you gain a better connection with them. Cry. That's my advice to you. And listen to those songs, Always and All Things End. But yeah, that's it for me. If you want more of me, follow me on Instagram, MJSanto_, I think it is, or on Twitter, the same thing. Listen to this podcast. Follow me on TikTok, Thickums McGee, with 3 E's at the end. THIQUMS. Nope. Yeah, THIQUMSMCG_EE. Follow me on TikTok. Follow me on Twitch, MJSanto1. MJSanto1. We do stuff, play video games. We occasionally definitely do not watch Studio Ghibli movies, whatever, Miyazaki movies. We definitely do not do that. Most definitely not. Who? Me? No, not me. No, definitely not. And we listen to good music. If you want any music, like I said, you can find all this in my link tree, Instagram bio. Honestly, in all bios, anywhere you'll find anything about me there. But yeah, thank you for listening. Peace and blessings, love and happiness. Stay safe, stay happy, stay sane, stay hydrated. Love you all. Have a great day. Have a great night. Have a great week. Have a great life. Be kind to one another. That is all we got. And I'll see you. Oh, not see you. This isn't the stream. I'll talk to you next time. Have a great day, week. Have a great morning, night, light, what? Yeah. Good night. Good day. Well, it's Moonlight Hours podcast. So good, whatever. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.